Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tech Gamers World. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can record your gaming content and live stream on a budget with the BlueAVS video capture device. Now, can this budget-friendly video capture device do everything that they say it can and give me quality content without breaking the bank? Well, stay tuned. Let's find out. Okay everyone, welcome back. So as I said in the introduction to this video, we are going to be checking out the BlueAVS video capture device here. Now, a huge thank you to them for sending me this. And if this budget-friendly video capture device can do everything that they say it can, this is going to be totally awesome and a game changer for people who want to record video content and live stream all while on a budget. So before we get into it here, if you could do me a favor, click that like button, follow, subscribe to me here at Tech Gamers World. That would be totally awesome. I'm always having new and exciting content from the world of video games and technology dropping all the time, and I would love for you to be part of my virtual adventures. So with that little shameless plug done, let's get to it. So what is a video capture device? Well, it's exactly what it says it is. It takes video input from things like your Nintendo Switch, your Microsoft Xbox, your Sony PlayStation, your laptop, your PC, your Apple TV, your NES Classic, and takes that signal and captures it for recording and live streaming. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, having a device like this takes the load off of the device you're recording from. So let me explain a little bit about what that is. If you have a device, let's say your gaming laptop, for example, and you want to live stream to YouTube or TikTok or Twitch, if you do it straight from that device, that live streaming will eat the processor alive. Your processor utilization will start out right at 50-60% before you've even started live streaming or recording content. So then you go and you play your game. Let's say you're on your PC and you're playing Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, for example. It's going to run dog slow unless you have a high-end processor, a high-end video card, a lot of RAM to record that content and play the game at the same time. Now that's where these devices come in. You can go ahead and use this and then connect it up to the device you're recording from, and then connect it to the device you're recording to, and then the device you're recording to will take the load off the device you're recording from. So in simplistic terms, you're taking all the hard work of the recording and the live streaming off the device you're playing on, transferring it through this to another device, such as a laptop, for example. I'm going to show you how I do that here with my Microsoft Surface. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. So these devices basically support, most of them support 4K 60 frames per second in at a max. That's what this does. It supports up to 4K resolution, 60 frames per second max in. And that's what people will see when they are watching your recorded content or your live streaming. So we're also going to see what else is in here. I took out the device here. It's pretty neat looking, bright yellow. It's got the HDMI on the front. We've got the two jacks on the back. These are mini RCA jacks. One looks like it is for headphones. The other is for audio in. So if you had a tuner or synthesizer, you wanted to add your own music to it, you can use this port. And then this part here is for headphones with a microphone, which I'll explain in a little bit here. On the front, we've got the HDMI ports, input outputs, and the USB connection, all pretty standard stuff. In the box here, we've also got a HDMI cable, pretty cool. They give you one that's nice. They also give you looks like let's see, we have a USB-C to USB-C cable. Alternatively, it is a USB 3.0 cable. So very important to note that these devices can record content to another device that are connected through this USB cable. You've got to use either USB-C or USB 3.0, which is this connection here. It's a USB-A, but it's blue inside, which means USB 3. If you connect this video capture card to a USB 2 port, it will be so slow it will not be usable. So it must be USB 3 or USB-C. My recommendation is if you have USB-C, just use that. It is the fastest standard out there currently. Let's see what else we have here. That's it for the box. We have our video capture card little booklet here, as you can see, showing you the various things inside. So we've got the product specifications, all that good stuff here. How to record and record with OBS Studio. Pretty cool, pretty straightforward. We'll just go ahead and put this off to the side here. So we are ready to get this connected up. Now, like I said, it's all pretty straightforward. HDMI in, so the video signal comes in, then you loop it out and it passes through out. So you'll record your 4K 60 frames per second content in, and then output will be only 1080p. Now that's pass through, 1080p 60 frames per second, and that is perfectly okay because nobody is going to see the pass through anyway, just you. So you don't have to worry about what the resolution is on it. And let's be fair, and you'll hear me say this a bunch of times, there's no visible difference between 4K and 1080p to the average viewer, especially somebody who's watching it on a mobile device like a cell phone or a tablet. So I'm all cool with that. Then we have the USB-C port here. This is what connects to your device to record from. So let's go ahead now and get our setup going here, and we'll get this set up to my Nintendo Switch 2 and my PC and show you how to integrate it into OBS Studio. So let's do it. All right, so the first thing we want to do here to get the BlueAVS video capture device connected up is to connect up our HDMI cables. Now there is HDMI in on the left, HDMI out is on the right. So we'll start with HDMI in. Now, like I said, we're going to be using our Nintendo Switch 2 here. So we're just going to move that out of the way for a second. We'll take the included HDMI cable here, unravel it, and stretch it out a little bit. And we'll go ahead and connect it to the back of the Nintendo Switch 2 dock. A little hard to see because it's kind of on the dark side, but HDMI out is right here next to the USB-C power connector. So we'll go ahead, plug that in, and then get the dock, reconnect the back on here. There we go, just like that, beautiful. Now we'll go ahead and put the Nintendo Switch 2 in, and then we'll go ahead and connect the HDMI out from the Nintendo Switch 2 to the HDMI in on the video capture device, just like so. Next up, we want to connect the HDMI out to the device you're going to pass through to. So in this case, I'm going to pass through to that monitor. So I've got a HDMI cable already prepared for that. We just plug that in. Now, the last step here is we need to get this device connected up to the device you're going to record to. So in this case, we're going to record to my media PC. Alternatively, you can use a laptop, say a Microsoft Surface, anything that has a USB-C port or a USB-A 3.0 port on it. So I've got my USB-C cable here. Now you will notice this is a different USB-C cable. I use it because it is longer. So we are connected up. You can see here that the device is now showing some lights on it, which means it is getting power. It is fed power from the USB-C connection. So that's all you need. You've got your HDMI in, your USB-C, and your HDMI out. So video signal in, it's processed, sent out to the recording device through the USB-C and to the monitor via the pass-through cable, or alternatively TV, whatever you choose to connect it to. So now let's see if we can get it to show up on this monitor. So I'm going to try and switch inputs here. So let's go ahead and go up to HDMI 1 and see if we get pass-through. right, that didn't work. Sometimes you have to do it twice. I have seen that a lot with the third-party devices. There we go. So now it is connected through. Beautiful. Now, so we are ready to do some actual recording. So let's go ahead here and shift over to the right monitor here. We'll go ahead and raise this up just a little bit here so you can see what I'm doing. We are going to go ahead and add a new input. So for sources here, we're just going to go to sources and video capture device. So now there's going to create a video capture device. So we're going to do BlueAVS video capture device and select OK. And now you will see the various devices that are in my computer, including the BlueAVS-BA12. So when I select that one, it automatically shows up the screen. Now you can select your various settings here, resolution. You can do your device default, you can do custom. There is a whole slew of devices. You've got 4K, you've got full HD, you've got down to lower resolution. I am just going to leave it at device default. And then you've got color space, color range, buffering, all that stuff. Apply rotation data from camera, if any. Again, you would go and fine tune these for your device. And now we're connected up. So if you want to, again, you want to record with a headset, you would just plug in the headset into the video capture device here. In one of these ports here, it would be this one here, the microphone port. Again, that will include the microphone and the headphone port. So you look for the one that says headphone. Sometimes they also say headphone mic, headphone. This one says headphone on it. So pretty easy to do. You just plug in. If your headphone supports a microphone with it, you can go ahead and use that easily with that one mini RCA port. And I'll show you here what one of those would look like. For those, they are one of these. So you need to have at least the 3 pins on it to have the microphone ability there. So 2 of the pins carry sound, 1 of the pins carries the microphone. So you do need to have that. If you have less than that, you will not get the microphone to send through. And that is a headphone thing. That is not this device issue. That's a standard for those mini RCA connections. So there we go. We got it all connected up here. It's looking good. So the screen on the left is the pass-through. Now again, this is only 1080p pass-through as per the specifications of the device, and that is perfectly acceptable to me, 100% acceptable, because here is why. On the right here, this is going to be the output of the device connected. So if your 4K device, 60 frames per second, you will get 4K 60 frames per second when you are recording your content, live streaming, any of the above. The pass-through will be 1080p because that is all it sends out of it, and that is perfectly okay. You're the one seeing it, and to be fair, let's be truthful here, the average person, especially if they're watching it on a YouTube video, on a phone or a tablet, can't tell the difference between 4K and 1080p, whether it's 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. To the average eye, it all looks exactly the same. So that's it. I got this thing set up. I am ready to play some video games. Totally awesome. Here, super pumped. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. As always, if you could do me a favor, please click that like button. Follow me here at Tech Gamers World. That would be totally awesome. I've gone ahead and dropped a link in the description and comment section of this video to the BlueAVS video capture device. If you want to check it out for yourself, it's totally awesome. It's budget friendly. It will make a great addition to your streaming recording setup without breaking the bank. So thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you around. Keep on gaming.